Terry, let's talk about U.S. estate taxes and what they mean to Canadians who own U.S. stocks and exchange traded funds. What do I need to know if I'm investing in U.S. listed securities?
There's a term in the U.S. called U.S. situs, and situs is a Latin term for located. So for many Canadians who own U.S. shares, let's say in Microsoft or Gillette or something like that, if they own those shares personally, those are considered to be U.S. located. And so therefore, if they never even step 1 foot into the U.S., but they die, and the value of those shares are greater than $60,000, there could be some U.S. estate tax filing requirements.
Now, what exactly do I have to file in those cases?
There's an estate tax return that has to be filed. It's called the IRS Form 706NA. The problem with the filing of that form, though, is that you have to disclose the full value of your worldwide estate. Value of your RIF, RSPs, houses, things like that have to be part of that calculation.
Even though you're a Canadian and you are responsible to the Canadian Revenue Agency and not to the IRS, you still have to make this disclosure.
That's correct. And some transfer agents might not go ahead and distribute those U.S. shares through probate until they get a clearance certificate from the IRS.
We've already talked in an earlier segment about the threshold at which you might actually have to pay estate taxes, and it sounds like that is not going to be a concern here, but I wonder if you could just quickly recap how much money you need in your estate to worry about estate taxes.
Canadians get a prorated part of the $5.25 million exemption that exists today, but when you run through the numbers and you apply treaty provisions if you're married to your spouse, if you are married joint and your estate is not greater than $10.5 million, after you file the estate tax return, there'll be no U.S. estate tax exposure.
Okay, so it's a matter of filing papers but not really worrying so much about taxes. What if I own American ETFs that track American stock indexes and they're listed on the TSX?
If they're listed on the TSX, it's a non-issue, but if you buy the comparable versions of those that are from a U.S. provider that trade on the U.S. exchanges, those would be considered U.S. situs and they would be part of the U.S. estate tax valuation calculation.
Great, Terry. Thanks a lot for this.
You're welcome.